Title: The Mirror of Azazel. Dust danced in the single ray of sunlight that dared to penetrate the boarded-up windows of the house. Marcos, barely 20 years old and with a camera in hand, felt a chill that he didn't attribute to the cold of the old mansion. He had heard the legends, the whispers about the Ayala house, but nothing had prepared him for the palpable sensation of oppression that enveloped him. Perfect for the documentary, he muttered, swallowing hard. His thesis project focused on the psychology of fear, and what better place to explore it than a house with a reputation for being haunted. In the main hall, beneath a faded sheet, rested a mirror. It wasn't just any mirror. Its frame, carved from twisted ebony, looked like a materialized nightmare. Marcos removed the cloth with trembling hands. The glass, clouded by time, reflected his face with a disturbing clarity. As he cleaned the surface with a cloth, he noticed something strange. In the reflection, behind him, a shadow moved. He turned around sharply, but there was nothing there. A trick of his mind, he thought, too influenced by the local stories. He returned to the mirror, turning on the camera to record his observations. The frame suggests an antiquity of at least 2 centuries. The quality of the glass is surprising, considering the abandonment of the house. Suddenly, Marcos's reflection flickered. His face contorted into a grimace of terror, his eyes bloodshot. He, the real Marcos, was still smiling at the camera, oblivious to the grotesque transformation that was happening in the mirror. What the hell? He muttered, feeling a cold sweat on the back of his neck. He turned off the camera, convinced that something was wrong. But curiosity, that dangerous companion, drove him to look again. This time, the image in the mirror was different. It was him, yes, but not him. His eyes gleamed with an inhuman malice, a cruel smile curved his lips. And behind, just behind his reflection, a figure loomed in the shadows. A tall figure, with twisted horns and a gaze that froze the blood. Marcos backed away, tripping over his own feet. No. It's not possible. The figure in the mirror smiled, a smile that revealed teeth as sharp as knives. His voice, guttural and resonant, erupted from the glass. Your soul will be mine. Marcos ran. He ran through the labyrinthine corridors of the house, feeling the evil presence on his heels. In every mirror, in every reflective surface, he saw the demon. Stalking him, mocking him, closing the circle around him. In his desperation, he reached the attic. A dark and dusty space, full of forgotten junk. In the center, another mirror. Smaller, older, but with the same aura of evil. I can't escape, he thought, his heart pounding. It's everywhere. But then, an idea. A desperate idea, but perhaps his only chance. With a cry of rage, he grabbed a chair and smashed it against the attic mirror. The glass shattered, scattering, across the floor like black diamonds. And with the destruction of the mirror, the evil presence seemed to weaken. Marcos, gasping and trembling, ran back to the main hall. The large mirror, the Mirror of Azazel, was still there. Intact. But something had changed. Marcos's reflection was no longer the same. His eyes, although full of fear, showed a fierce determination. The demonic figure was no longer looming behind him. Instead, in the depths of the mirror, he glimpsed a light. A faint light, but growing with each second. I'm not afraid of you, Marcos said to his reflection, his voice trembling but firm. I will not give you my soul. And then, the light exploded. A wave of energy swept through the house, shaking the foundations and breaking the remaining glass. When the dust settled, Marcos was alone in the hall. The Mirror of Azazel was still there, but his reflection was normal. His soul, it seemed, was still his. But the nightmare wasn't over. Marcos left the Ayala house, vowing never to return. But as he walked away, he cast one last look back. In one of the attic windows, among the broken glass, he saw a figure. A tall, slender figure, with twisted horns. The demon. And it was smiling. Marcos turned and ran, unaware that, although he had escaped the house, the demon would follow him everywhere. In every mirror, in every reflective surface, it would always be there. Stalking him, waiting for the opportune moment to claim his soul. Because the Mirror of Azazel not only reflected evil, it also released it. And once released, it was impossible to contain it.